Military history is filled with brave men and women. It is also filled with leaders who are not ready to lead. They did not fail because they lacked courage. They failed because responsibility arrived faster than competence. This is the danger of promotion without preparation, when rank outruns ability. Military promotion is often built on success under pressure. Acts of courage, demonstrated loyalty, past performance in narrower roles. These qualities matter, but they are not the same as command. Leading a unit is not the same as directing an army. Tactical bravery does not equal strategic judgment. Yet institutions often assume excellence scales upward. It does not. The skills that make someone a brilliant platoon leader are very different from those required of a general. A person who excels at inspiring a small team through personal example might be lost when asked to manage logistics, intelligence, and strategy for thousands. The assumption that success in one domain guarantees success in the next, larger one, is a dangerous oversimplification. Promotion becomes a reward for past achievements, not an assessment of future potential. When we confuse these two things, we set people up to fail in roles they were never equipped to handle, with consequences far beyond their own careers. Leadership is personal. Command is abstract. Leadership inspires individuals you know and see. Command coordinates systems you can only imagine. At the platoon level, a leader can directly influence their soldiers' morale and actions. They share the same risks, the same mud, the same fear. Trust is built face to face. But as an officer climbs the ranks, the nature of their work changes completely. They move from the field to the map room. Decisions are no longer about immediate, tangible problems, but about abstract concepts. Troop movements, supply lines, and strategic objectives. The feedback loop is longer, and the human cost of a mistake is harder to see directly, yet infinitely greater. At higher levels, decisions are slower, but their consequences are vastly larger. Mistakes no longer cost minutes, they cost campaigns. When officers are elevated beyond their experience, they face problems they were never trained to solve. They must think in terms of systems, probabilities, and second-order effects, a skill set far removed from the direct, personal leadership that got them promoted in the first place. This gap between leadership and command is where competence often breaks down. High command isolates. Information arrives filtered, often polished by subordinates who want to please or avoid delivering bad news. Responsibility becomes absolute. Every decision carries irreversible consequences. The weight of command is immense, and it's a burden carried alone. Under this immense stress, some leaders narrow their focus. They fixate on minor details they can control, losing sight of the larger strategic picture. This is a psychological phenomenon known as perceptual narrowing. They lose perspective, micromanaging tasks that should be delegated. Others freeze. The sheer scale of the consequences makes any choice seem terrifying, so they make no choice at all, which is itself a disastrous decision. Or they cling to familiar habits and tactics that worked for them in the past, but no longer apply to the new, larger challenges they face. This is not a moral failing or a sign of weakness. It is a predictable human response to overwhelming cognitive load magnified by the crushing weight of authority. It is the human mind struggling to operate far beyond its design capacity, in an environment of extreme pressure and isolation. Promotion systems rarely fail openly. They fail quietly, almost invisibly. Officers are often advanced because they fit the institutional expectations. They look the part, speak the language, and don't rock the boat. They are rewarded for conforming, not for challenging assumptions or displaying uncomfortable originality. The system prioritizes stability and predictability. Once a senior officer is promoted, removing them becomes organizationally and politically difficult. Admitting that a mistake was made at such a high level threatens the credibility of the entire institution and the judgment of those who made the promotion. So instead of being corrected, inadequacy is managed. The incompetent commander is surrounded by capable deputies. Their responsibilities are quietly shifted, and their mistakes are covered up. Responsibility remains in place long after capability has been exceeded. The flawed leader becomes a hollow figurehead, a symbol of authority without the substance of command, while the real work is done in the shadows by others trying to prevent a total collapse. The cost of overpromotion is never paid at the top. It is paid by those on the front lines, executing unclear or contradictory orders. It is paid by units forced to compensate for the indecision and strategic blunders of their commanders. It is paid by soldiers placed in impossible situations, without adequate support, intelligence, or a coherent plan. A commander's failure to grasp the strategic reality translates directly into tactical chaos. When command fails, initiative collapses downward and chaos fills the gap. Individual soldiers and small unit leaders are left to make desperate life or death decisions with incomplete information, trying to salvage a situation that was doomed from the start by a failure of leadership many miles away. The true price of promoting someone beyond their ability is not measured in tarnished reputations in the history books. It's measured in the lives lost on the battlefield. Every generation believes it has solved this problem. New training programs are developed. New, more complex evaluation systems are put in place. New doctrines are written, all designed to identify and cultivate true strategic leaders. Yet the same pattern returns, generation after generation, war after war. Why? Because institutions, by their very nature, reward certainty and confidence, not self-doubt and intellectual humility. The officer who projects unwavering conviction is often seen as more leader-like than the one who openly questions assumptions and admits uncertainty. The system is designed to promote those who appear to have all the answers. But war is the ultimate test of reality, and it punishes the unprepared without hesitation, regardless of their rank or confidence. Promotion is not proof of readiness. Authority is not evidence of understanding. When rank outruns competence, confidence becomes the most dangerous quality a leader can possess. This is military hubris. And this is how leadership fails upward, leaving a trail of disaster in its wake. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe for our next episode.